Good afternoon. It's Monday, September 23rd. I'm Skylar Smith.
And I'm Jared Baker. You're watching the first edition of The Edge. Among the many familiar staff members here at EdTech, there are some new faces. The Edge's Kylie Reside has talked to two new teachers.
This year we welcome new instructors to public safety and auto mechanics. We sat down with them to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves.
My name is Mr. Wright. I teach automotive.
Matthew Rule, and I teach Introduction to Public Safety.
Mr. Wright is coming with some teaching experience.
I've been teaching for 6 years, and I enjoy teaching students the career that I've done for the past 20 years.
But Mr. Roll, up until the first week of September, was a Genesee County Sheriff's deputy. He says he's a fish out of water.
The hardest part is being a fish out of water. I went from being a lieutenant, a division commander, and knowing everything about my job, being able to do anything at my job, to being uprooted and implanted into the school environment where everything's a learning curve again for me. So as much as students are learning, I'm learning as well.
Our new instructors are looking forward to passing on their years of knowledge and experience.
Well, I hope that students can either go into this as a career and be successful as a career, or if people are doing this for a hobby, that for the rest of their life they can do this as a hobby and enjoy it.
20 years of training, knowledge, and experience. It's a vast amount of knowledge in a short amount of time, and I hope I can get as much as I can out of my brain and into theirs.
Both instructors are happy about their career change.
I've been pretty happy with, like I said, with everything. The facility's nice, the students are good, so I've been pretty happy with everything.
My favorite part is watching some of the students make connections with instruction after they're not quite getting it, and you give them a little extra instruction, and you see that light click in their head and they get it, and you aided them in getting the skill accomplished. Completely rewarding.
Students are excited about the new energy and experience the new instructors bring to the classroom.
I think they're a really good guy. He's a really good teacher, a really good guy. He's still learning a little bit because it's his first year teaching, but he's doing a pretty solid job overall.
Good luck to our new instructors. Hopefully they can rule their classroom the right way. I'm Kylie Reside, reporting for The Edge.
New staff are not the only thing that is different here at Lapeer EdTech. One class is making a big change in its name.
That's right. Recreational vehicle repair, known as RVR, is now power sports equipment. The class has been called RVR since it started in 1978. So why are they making a big change like this after 41 years with the same name?
Agrees with me that RVR was not an appropriate name anymore for the program because we got answers or calls every year for camper repair. The class runs the same. We've always taught it as a small engine and power sports equipment program, so it's going to stay the exact same. But like I said, hopefully it gets more kids engaged, and future students that are looking into programs to take at EdTech, they see power sports, and hopefully they'll understand, they'll have more of a acknowledgement of what that might mean over recreational vehicles, which means Grandma and Grandpa's motorhome.
I think it fits our class better. It's more of what we do.
It may take time for some to get comfortable with the new name, Power Sports Equipment, PSE for short. For instance, Lapeer EdTech changed its name nearly 15 years ago to EdTech from Votech. But if you ask many people in Lapeer County, it will always be Votech.
Power sports equipment isn't the only class that has made some changes this year. Students in careers and education now have a new certification option. Students are working toward getting the Child Development Associate certification. This credential makes it possible for the careers and ed students to teach a preschool class, and it also looks good for colleges that they were planning on attending. For Skills USA, BPA, HOSA, and DECA, competition season doesn't start for another couple months, but some students are already thinking about returning to states and making it to nationals this year. Skills USA juniors take place in June after school is out. This past June, 8 seniors competed at a national level. Students from ITNet, Careers in Education, Culinary, and HVAC traveled to Louisville, Kentucky to compete the competition with students in real-life scenarios.
National competition. It is put on by Cisco. They bring in a lot of brand new equipment, very expensive enterprise level routers and switches. The students have to do a written test to examine their knowledge over networks. They also have to address a network, so look at the correct IP addressing scheme to make it the most efficient. They configure a network from scratch using several devices. They have to make cables and utilize those cables to configure a wireless network. They troubleshoot an existing network that the judges have put problems into. So there are many different portions of the event, and it does take several days to compete.
None of the students came in the top 3, but they all represented EdTech very well. We look forward following this year's EdTech students as they compete.
If you were in high school or middle school, you or someone you know vapes. It's being called an epidemic. 1 in 6 high schoolers vape. On September 4th, Michigan governor was the first in the country to ban vaping. Our Teray Johnson has more on this story. Teray?
You have heard teachers and parents say it, but it is true. Vaping is an epidemic. In 2017, 2.1 million high school and middle school students used vapes. As of 2018, more than 3.6 million students vape. That's 1.5 million more teenagers vaping in just 1 year. On September 4th, Michigan's governor, Gretchen Whitmer, banned flavored vape juice from the markets in Michigan. She was the first governor in the United States to create the ban. However, other governors and President Trump quickly followed suit. Most students we talked to agree that the ban is a good idea.
A lot of people have you seen have had collapsed lungs and different stuff like that, and people have died. So I just think that kind of stuff shouldn't be in your body. I know a lot of people who vape, and I don't judge them for it because I just don't judge people, but I wouldn't do it myself.
Many students started using e-cigarettes because they thought they were safer than the real thing.
I know a couple people that vape, and they just do it because they have a nicotine addiction. They can't stop.
Some people are skeptical of the ban.
It's a bad decision to ban flavored vape juice because people are using it to help get away from other things, get away from cigarettes or other drugs. They turn to vaping. Now, the only reason I think that they're banning vape juice is because the government is not getting money for it. Say the government taxes cigarettes, correct? Cigarettes are worse than vapes. So whenever they're not going to get rid of cigarettes because they're taxed. Now, vapes aren't taxed. If the government was taxing them and getting money from them, would they ban them? No, they wouldn't.
Officials and health experts say the ban is necessary. There has been a spike in lung illnesses, which includes 7 deaths linked to vaping and over 300 cases of people sick with a pneumonia-type illness that doctors can't trace to any viral or bacterial infection. These are young, otherwise healthy people who many now require hospitalizations and ventilators to breathe. But convincing everyone that they need to stop vaping is going to be hard.
I know a lot of people who vape. I know some people who vape because they're not wanting to do some of the other things. I know people who vape just because they like it.
I think it should, but I think people should have the choice too.
As for the ban, this appears to be just the beginning. In Michigan, the current ban is only in effect for 6 months. We will keep you updated. This is Teray Johnson reporting for The Edge. Back to you.
Homecoming season is in full swing.
Coming up after the break, we will take a look into each school's way of celebrating.
Welcome to the world of digital media arts. Here in DMA, there are all kinds of unique students wanting to pursue their dreams in the digital world. Some skills you learn in this class are photography, videography, cinematography, and the use of different techniques and applications. From being in the studio to creating on the computers, many students here go out and use their skills they learn in class to bring their creativity to life.
For one of the most talked about games of the year.
Each of the schools prepare themselves for either the game or the dance with their own unique traditions.
It's homecoming season, so we here at The Edge wanted to know what students think about homecoming at their schools.
I think homecoming is a great idea to get the community together and get everyone in one place for a few days.
I'm not really planning on going to homecoming because I don't really have an interest and I don't have a date.
Homecoming means traditions and themes, and those are different for all of the schools here in Lapeer County. It is in the stars, and it consists of a lot of our teachers' names on stars, and it's a really cool decoration.
Our homecoming theme's like the 80s, I believe.
We always do a Farmer's Day, for sure. Like, that's our theme. Like, we're North Branch, we're the farming club, you know?
So when it comes to the football game or the dance, whether or not students are attending varies.
I am going, because I play, so I'm going to be playing in the homecoming game, and I'm going to a homecoming dance.
No, I'm not going to go to homecoming this year.
I don't really go to like the game, but I might consider it considering this is my senior year.
I do intend to, since I planned them through student council.
As for me, I'm not too big on the game or the dance, but when it comes to Spirit Week, I'm all in. I'm Kenny Pavelik, reporting for The Edge.
That is all we have for today's Edge. We have a lot more online content not seen here.
You can follow us on a variety of social media sites: Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram under the Edge LC. Thanks for watching the first edition of The Edge. Yo.
That went pretty well, dude.
That went good.
That went hard.